Let's talk about Clark County Commissioner David Madore's concept of having an East County bridge up and running in 5 years. Let's see how frank we can be here. What are the odds of that happening? We're talking about, trying to bring a consensus together here for a project to replace the I-5 bridge. And now Madore's got this other thing going on, an East County bridge in 5 years. Let's start with you, Paul. What's the likelihood of that happening?
In 5 years?
Well, that's his time frame, yeah.
I think it would be very difficult in 5 years to have dirt moving in 5 years on. Now, the philosophical idea of having multiple bridges across the Columbia River, I like that idea. Do I think that the opportunity of having that happen in 5 years, I think it's pretty remote, to be honest with you.
All right, but let me be a little bit more specific, and then we're going to get to everybody's view on this. So, right now, I love philosophical discussions. You and I can.
We could chat for.
Oh man, I love it.
I got 5 kids. We could chat for a long time.
Oh yeah. But what I'm talking about here is a potential opportunity to, as Representative Pike just said, to bring Oregon and Washington together to try and get an I-5 replacement bridge built. Likely, the conversation would be without light rail. But now you've got this other concept that's tracking at the same exact time you're trying to get an I-5 replacement bridge built. You've got this other concept tracking at the same time. Now, some philosophical discussion about is that a diversion? Is that a good thing to have on the table right now so that we can spend a lot of time talking about an East County bridge in 5 years?
I would prefer personally, I would prefer to deal with the I-5 bridge right now. Let's figure out what we're going to do with the I-5.
So that's a yes, that it's a diversion.
I don't think it's meant as a diversion. I think it's meant. Well, I'm being honest with you.
I know. What is it?
I think it's an option, I guess, down line.
But is it diversionary?
I want to address the I-5 issue. You're right.
Okay.
So I would sit down. Let's address the I-5 issue. Let's figure that out before we introduce another option. So
let's focus.
Let's focus on the I-5 issue. At least that's my opinion.
All right,
and I don't know, and I can't speak to motive, but as far as being a diversion, it hasn't been a discussion in Olympia.
Yeah,
hasn't been a discussion.
It's certainly getting its fair share of press down here.
You're right.
You're right. In Clark County to get on board.
No, you're absolutely right that it's getting discussion down here, but as far as the actual any transportation package or discussion, I don't see it happening up there.
So
5 years is, 5 years would be a miracle.
Okay.
You have the environmental situations.
Have you
got
seen our
the
countdown
planning.
clock on our?
I have. And you know as well as I do, though, this thing, if there were a proposal for a third bridge, it's going to wind up in court, right? There's going to be environmental groups and X, Y, and Z down the line.
Yeah.
I think it's no secret that in a county that's third or fourth largest in the state, depending on when you do the measurement, 2 bridges probably isn't enough. But the I-5 corridor
at this point
has troubles and needs to be addressed.
And at this
first.
point, it's a diversion.
It sure would seem that way in some instances.
Okay, Liz, what's your view on this?
This is the corridor that needs to be worked on. There's no question we have an aging bridge that should be replaced at some point. But I think an East County bridge isn't the direction we need to be going. If we're going to do any talk of a third bridge, I think a west side bypass makes so much more sense. Something connecting Richfield with St. Helens, something that would take all the truck traffic off of this current structure, as well as a future structure makes sense. People that are driving long-haul trucks, they don't want to go through a downtown Portland metropolitan area to get to their destination in Canada or other points north.